Hello and good morning and welcome to In Conversation with Alan. I think it's time to roll credit. Hello and welcome to the first in my new series of In Conversation with Alan. Delighted to have your company, guys. It is an absolute pleasure. This is going to be something that's going to happen every week right here on LinkedIn Live. And we are also broadcasting as well to the Compass Media Facebook page. And the whole idea of LinkedIn Live and this In Conversation with Alan is to bring in some really interesting guests, and we're going to be talking about business and just having conversations about really, really good topics. So we do hope you're going to stay with us. It's going to happen every Monday right here on LinkedIn, and also, as I said, on Facebook as well. And it'll also be later published on YouTube, so you can watch the replay if you want to there. So also reminding you, it's going to be here every Monday at 11 o'clock. And we are also going to be recording this with international guests, and we are going to be going live then at 3 o'clock on alternative weeks. So as it happens, so the reason for this is because our Irish guests and our European guests will be all on the same on the same time zone as us, but our friends in the States will be on a different time zone. So we don't want to get them up during the middle of the night. So that's why some of these broadcasts will be done at 3 o'clock, but we will give you prior notice. I see Joanne Sweeney has joined us. Hello, Joanne. How are you? Thanks for joining us today. Delighted to have your company. As I said, this is all about you. So if you have questions on any shape or form of business in relation to the topic that we're talking about on the show each week, we want to hear your comments, your suggestions, and your experience as well. So it's all about all of us, exactly, all helping each other. So my first guest, I had the pleasure of meeting this lady about, I'd say in around about 5 years ago. And she is a fantastic lady, absolutely amazing at what she does. And we are going to be talking to her all about marketing and implementing a marketing audit for your business. And we are going to be joined today by Wendy Stunt, and I'm going to let her explain to you all her accolades, because she has so many entrepreneurial skills. It's unbelievable, and she has awards everywhere as well, and she's been recommended by so many people. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump up and invite Wendy up onto screen. So with the powers that be, I think this is the way it works. We're going to bring in Wendy. There we go. There she is. Hey, let's let's be really cool here and change our overlays. How about that? How about that? There you go. So, Wendy, how are you? Thanks for joining us for our very first In Conversation with Alan. Yes, indeed. This is it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it, and delighted and privileged for you to be our first guest on the In Conversation. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of hashtag, so we might put that out for people to start giving us an idea of a hashtag that we could use. So we have a few people that are just after saying hello. So we've Don there, Don Harris, a lovely, fantastic chap. Morning, all, Alan and Wendy, and we also have Joanne Sweeney as well, who's just after. So there you go. So really good. So Wendy, before we start and we get stuck into our chosen topic, which is going to be all about implementing a marketing audit for your business, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Go on.
Yeah, sure. You know how I love this question. Yeah, so I have my own company called Go DigiCard, which we create a digital business card solution for companies worldwide, which is great actually. Pandemic, we've been helping companies to connect online, so you can share your business card without actually being in front of people. So it's been a good tool. I'm also director of Aster Connects, which is a company that connects other business owners or consultants, anybody that you may need. If you come to us, we should have the solution there. We have, I do, so Ask Next, Go DigiCard. I'm also a marketing consultant, which I'm going to talk a lot about today. And yeah, that's pretty much me. I did win Entrepreneur of the Year in 2019, and we won Digital Business of the Year in 2020.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. And that is and you know, like Wendy is one of these people, she never blows her own trumpet, but you know, if you know Wendy, and I've worked with Wendy on a number of projects over the last couple of months, and the attention to detail is unbelievable. So guys, what I would say is to connect with Wendy here on LinkedIn, and also across all of the social networks as well. And you know what, when you're better off having someone who's going to produce a show, because then you can concentrate. But look, we'll struggle through. It's all new to us. So if you want to connect with Wendy, you can see her connection details on LinkedIn are there, and of course she's also on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all the usual platforms as well. And I would also say go have a look at Go DigiCard as well. But today, as I said, Wendy, we're going to be talking in and about implementing a marketing audit for your business. And I think this is a lot of businesses don't do this, and I think that they really need to do, like, especially, okay, startups will do the startup marketing campaigns and stuff like that, but as a, you know, I suppose as a business that's up and running and has established itself, I think they don't look at, you know, the marketing audits every year anyway. I think they should. I think it's so important to, I suppose, keep an eye and understand exactly what is going on in the business, and is their message getting out there, and is it getting out consistently across all the different channels of, you know, the marketing world. So you might speak about that. So where would be the sort of the first place that you would start when it comes to a marketing audit?
Okay, so when you talk about a marketing audit, what you're looking at is your online and your offline touch points. So where your brand is showing up, whether it's on, so offline would be looking at, say, letterheads, business cards, your uniforms, your vans out on the road, anywhere where your logo is, as your signage outside, and that kind of thing. So they would be your offline touch points. And then you've got your online touch points, and they would be like the website, your social media platforms, any online marketing. So your newspapers or your reviews online, things like that. And the reason we do an audit every year or every couple of years is because, for example, when you start your business, you've created your brand and your logo. And maybe in a year or two time, you might decide, I'm going to edit it slightly, and somebody's logos might just change slightly. And again, a year or two time, you might change it again, or change something in your brand, whether it's your font or your colors. And with a marketing audit, what you're doing is you're going in, you're looking to see that something could have been missed in bringing that forward into so say email signatures, for example. You might have 3 or 4 people using different email signatures because they didn't bring the new logo forward with them. So what you're doing is you're doing your audit. So you're ticking off those boxes, you're checking everything, your online and offline points, and just checking that everything is consistent.
Yeah, and I think
a third party who would come in and do this for you, and then they would give you a list of recommendations on things that you could improve on, and it checks what's performing highly for you.
And I think that's another point as well that you make there is, you know, like your branding across all your, as you say, all your different touch points. So important, because you see, you know, like I've seen it where I've gone into businesses and I'll say, well, look, you have this fantastic fleeces that people, you know, that, but you might have 5 or 6 people, but nobody else is wearing them, and they don't even promote that they have these people. So like I always say, it's amazing, and down to simple things of signage, even outside your business. You know what I mean? If you're, you know, if you're a bricks and mortar shop, like it's a golden opportunity.
Yeah, I think, Alan, you often refer to it as your prime real estate.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. If you think about even your LinkedIn banner, if you don't have anything in that LinkedIn banner, you're missing out on a massive opportunity, because that's the first thing people see when they come onto your profile. And another really simple one that a lot of people don't have, and I challenge people to go and look, go into your emails and have a little look at all the little icons along the left-hand side and see what people actually have their logo in where your little profile image is. And it's very few. It's very
Yeah.
few. And, it definitely helps you to look more professional and stand out. Your employees should have, like my employees would have Go DigiCard logo on all of their emails so that when they lands into somebody's account, immediately they can see that it all kind of flows through nicely.
Yeah.
That would
And
be,
like that.
that would be one that's very rarely done.
Yeah, and I think, and it's probably one of the simple ones, like, especially
Yeah.
if, regards to say email, like, like when people are like, we send emails on a daily basis. We must, like, I couldn't count how many I would send on a daily basis, but like that, we're receiving emails in, we're sending emails out to our customers, our clients, and so on, like that. So, that is an opportunity for someone just to even be able to click on your link and bring you to your website or your your personal LinkedIn profile, and like this is a lot of people I think miss out on the opportunity of using, they'll have a LinkedIn profile, but what they do is they never actually shout about it and say I'm on LinkedIn, because they just say, oh well, I made it and I created it, but that's sort of it, and it's there and I use it. But as I always say to people, have that link on your email, because it means that it gives the person the opportunity to learn more about you and also your logos as well. Having them there, so important.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, if I was visiting a company doing an audit, I'd be ensuring that all the staff have their up-to-date LinkedIn profiles, and that they are linked to the business page so that they're marked as an employee of the company. It's all connecting back and forth. So it's really important that there's that connection piece. And also in general, after doing an audit, I make recommendations afterwards, and nearly 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, get a bit of training for your staff, because they are the key to the content that you're putting out, because they're the ones that are talking to your customers. They're the ones that are on the front line. And sometimes I might even recommend an incentive for them. So at the end of the month, they get something. They gave the best story that went online, that got the most interaction and stuff like that. So it's about using the tools that you already have to get out there and reach your customers.
And I think there's certain things in, I suppose, within, the marketing audit, that you would pick up, but I think a fresh pair of eyes always sees that, because if you're in your business, you're always looking outwards. You're never looking inwards at your business, and I think they are, and they're another important, I suppose, aspect of getting, say, a third party in to actually to do it, because it's fresh eyes, and as well as that, they will be, I suppose, they won't be, oh, I can't say that or I can't do that. They're coming in to do a job. They're coming in to see where the flaws are. And it's, and people might say, oh, well, I'm not going to let person into my business because I don't want them to know. But I always say to myself, it's the right way, because they're going to see things that you're not going to see, that you might go, okay, well, this is great. I see an opportunity here. And, it's like a snowball effect. Things like that happen. They just escalate, and they say, wait, we could do this. And all of a sudden people start having crazy ideas. But sometimes, as you know, myself and Howard and Trevor used to do the Effectify, we used to always say the craziest ideas could be one of the best ideas that you ever had, so I think that's very important. So with regards to, say, when you go into a business, you were starting an audit, what would be sort of the first things that you would do, without giving all your secrets away, but give us an idea of where you would start, or what people should be looking at.
Yeah, usually where I start on is I would actually interview or talk, really just have a chat with each of the employees. So I go through their job specs or their roles, and I talk to them, and without them knowing, I'm actually looking at their touch points. So how are they communicating with the customers? So if somebody was in sales, for example, and sales and marketing work so closely together that if you're on the phone to someone and you're selling, I'd be saying, well, what kind of phone script are you using? What are you saying to the customer, to draw out some marketing tips that I can use that they could pass on to me? So just writing a note, say, for example, someone might say, oh, I'm heading off for the weekend. It's my birthday on Monday or whatever it is. And this might be Thursday or Friday. That for me is an opportunity, a marketing opportunity, to send a bottle of wine or something to that person. If they're a good customer, to engage with them. And then all of a sudden, it's not so much the relationship building anymore, it's the relationship minding. So you're minding that
Yes.
customer, and you're saying to them, look, we remembered simple things like for the next call, to say to them, make a note of if they mention their children's names, if they mention, they are into golf or the football team they follow or stuff like that. It's just about, creating that relationship. That's what I would do with the sales team. And then I eventually then I'd sit down with the managing director and go through where he's, talking to customers, the accounts department. I'd look at the invoices, the picking lists, the delivery notes that are going out to make sure that all of them are consistent and the brand is showing up the way it should do. Yeah, so things like that would be where I'd start when I go in. So really just getting to know the employees and talking to them and getting what they feel they're missing, maybe the
Yeah.
tools that they'd like to have, whether it's brochures, digital versions or paper versions, if they have business cards, if they feel they'd like them or use them. Lots of different questions I'd run through with them just to get a feel for what we could potentially be doing a bit better.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's, like I always say it and say it in all the training that I do, your secret army, and your secret
Right.
marketing army is your employees, because they're the ones that are on the front line. They're the ones that are sort of speaking to the customers every day. They know what the questions are going to be or what are being asked, and if you have an insight into that, well, you're halfway there. And I think there's so much, as you say, there's so much there that people can sort of take into account and sort of look at it and go, okay, what am I not doing, or what is it that I should be doing, or is our branding right across all of the different whether it be social media, your website, the offline, your invoice and all that. Because at the end of the day, the more, I suppose, the person sees the brand and the more they understand where the brand is the higher, return on their investment. So it's a well worth, it's well worth
Yeah.
investing and looking
I
at.
think so. Yeah, and it's the most up-to-date logo on everything. The
Mm,
amount of companies, inevitably I will go in and there will be old logos showing up, whether it's on floor mats, whether it's on might be a case that, okay, we didn't change it because it's part of the glass, or it's on the door going in. But it's so important because people get confused then, with branding. So it just looks so much. I usually say to people, say, for example, Vodafone, the first thing you think of is red, and
yeah,
that's because they literally have it blasted everywhere. It's never changed. It's always the same, So if you want to get up there with those kind of companies, that's what you have to be thinking, to keep it all consistent. And people just keep, everywhere you can put your branding, put it. If there's a
yeah,
space, if there's a cabinet in your office, put it up on the top. There's a little, at the top of a shelf, there might be that space.
yeah.
Pick something up there, so it's really about finding those spots, and that's what I do going into companies, is I look for those opportunities, and then I'll obviously look at what's already there and how we can maybe use it a bit better.
And I suppose as well as that, when you're looking at that marketing, you're looking at a number of different options as well. So, like even with regards to say the types of say networking, because we know you are the ultimate networker. You are the connect. As friends of Wendy will know, she is known as the connector. She just connects. She knows someone somewhere. It's unbelievable. Like, but I think that is as well. It's true the work that you do with, I suppose, the Dublin Chamber and all the other organizations as well that you work with
Yeah.
as well. And like the consultancy basically that you work with them in them is all it also ties into what you're talking about. And I think
Definitely.
businesses don't network enough. They don't actually connect with people.
Yeah.
So maybe we might just have a little chat about that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm an ambassador for the Dublin Chamber of Commerce, as you know, and that probably did come about from the point that I'm always looking to help people and connect them to
Mm,
the people they need to. But also just from a support point of view, I think it's really good um for customers or for your customers to see you out now. It creates content for you to be able to put up on all your platforms, but also that you're going to these events, you're getting out there, you're getting your brand out there. People are seeing you turn up, not just sitting behind your desk. They're putting your face to the brand, and they're getting to know you. They can ask questions there and then. I'm against the whole sales pitch at a networking event. I think that there's always ways to get across what you do without being salesy, and then giving the person the opportunity to decide if they want to come back to you or not. It's really I much prefer that approach rather than how can I or do you need my service, and if you don't, they walk away.
mm, mm.
That's yeah, it's not ideal. But from a networking point of view, I think it's definitely one of those things that people don't take into consideration when it comes to marketing. It's massive. It's absolutely
Yeah.
massive. You have to get out there, and you have to network and attend various exhibitions and all that type of thing. It's really important for people to get to know you.
And just Ray has put up a comment here, and thanks for all your comments and your kind words as well, guys. We say hello to a few people now in a minute, but Ray has put up true hate being pitched sorry, hate being pitched to, not welcomed, and I think that's a key
Exactly.
important part. But like it's like as I've said before, I've always said it. If you go to a networking meeting, you don't hand someone a contract the minute you meet them. So why do you do it? So why would you reach and say, I do this? And when you really need to get to know the person.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Jason Cooper is here as well, and he is a huge advocate of that as well. Also, we say hello. Who else have we got here? We have Don Harris, as I said. Joanne Sweeney's in. Linda Hennessy. Oh, I wonder who she is.
Oh,
Anyway, we'll say no more.
hi, Linda.
We also have Yvonne Redden in, Mark Manning,
Yvonne.
Jason Cooper, David McCauley, and Will Walsh as well. And we shall be at, yeah. So, guys, if you have any other questions that you would like Wendy to answer, or try and answer, and if she can answer, she will definitely come back to you with them. But definitely I think there's so much opportunity. Ray has another he said here, always try to help or advise someone. They'll value your opinion and come back to you if they think of someone you could use your services. So
Yeah.
really good, really good.
100%, Ray. I think that's really, really important. That you don't know who they know. There's always that. I mean, I've come across events where I'm talking to people, and immediately kind of they realize, well, there's nothing that I can do for them, or I'm not going to purchase from them, maybe.
Mm,
And you can see them shut
yeah,
down, and they just walk away. But they're really missing a massive opportunity because they don't know who I know, who
yeah,
I could potentially
exactly.
say, it could be the next day I might meet someone and say, God, I met this really lovely lady or lovely guy at an event, and who can help you with what you're talking about. But it's
Mm,
as simple as that. It's
yeah.
simple as that.
And Don,
Oh, I love the listener. Yeah.
Don says, I like to emphasize the importance of being a listener first. And that is such an
100%.
important. But, and you know, and I think the reason why as well that you should be listening more is because by listening to people, you get to understand and you get to know what it is that they're looking for, or what is their, I suppose, the problem that they're having that you can maybe solve. So by listening, you learn so much more. Really, really is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I could sit here and talk about this all day, but it's been absolutely amazing. So final tips, Wendy, with regards to marketing audits, what would they be for our viewers out there?
Yeah, I would sit down and take a complete overview of your company, list your online, your offline touch points, get your camera, get your phone, walk out of your building, walk in as though you are a customer and take a picture of everywhere that you see your brand. Go walk the whole way through your offices, through your business, or if you're a sole trader, have a look and see where your business is showing up online. So Google yourself. Look at your Google My Business, look at your social media, take snips of them, put them all into, say, a Word document or a collage, and just take a quick look and say, how am I showing up? Am I showing up consistently when you put them all together? And that would be my top tip.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Yes, and and of course, and if you don't want to do it yourself or you need some help with that, definitely get in contact with Wendy. She has a fantastic way about going in and making you feel comfortable, but also getting really into the crux of how people are marketing the business. That's what she does, and she is so good at it as well. Wendy, how can people reach out and connect with you if they want to have more of a chat with you?
Well, my platform of choice is LinkedIn. You'll definitely find me there, just Wendy Stunt. And I'm also on Facebook. Usually my Facebook and my Instagram is really for personal stuff, so preferably LinkedIn, guys, if that's okay. And I'm also on Twitter. Please engage with me there. And if you want to email me, it's wendy@godigicard.com.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. And Wendy, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on our very
My pleasure,
first,
Alan.
our very first in conversation with Alan. And yes, I'm trying to get my head around that in conversation with Alan. It's usually in conversation with Compass Media or something. That's never so it's yes, so it's sort of a bit new as well. But I would say is do get in contact with Wendy. All her details are there. You'll see them on the bottom of the screen, just down below, somewhere there. And it is linkedin.com /in/ Wendy Stunt, and you will find her there. And do connect with her, guys. And if you do connect with her, make sure to tell her that you've seen her here on our In Conversation with myself. Okay, guys. It's an absolute pleasure, as I said, Wendy, having you on the show today. I keep going to say podcast because of so it's now the live broadcast. Yes, indeed. So I'll have to get used to that as well.
It's
And
perfect, Alan, because it's about you. It's not about,
oh well,
your other things. It's
but
about Alan. It's in conversation with Alan.
well, it's the whole idea. My whole idea behind the in conversation is that like I connect with so many people on a daily basis, and they're always so interesting, and I am always learning. So it's about just having a conversation and sharing that with others as well, and hopefully people get some sort of information, and they get a little bit of an idea, or they might get a spark, or they might spark off something in their head, and it'll help someone along the way. And don't forget, you can also listen to the Social Media Talks podcast, which is also available on all of the usual podcast providers. So for some fantastic interviews and some fantastic podcasts with leading digital marketers from around the world, and also the Curious Fire podcast, which is my passion as well. But you can find that as well. But anyway, as I said, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you, Wendy, here today with us. It's been really insightful, some fantastic tips and tricks all about this. And you can also, guys, if you're watching this on the replay, do let us know that you are watching on the replay. Just put in replay. And if you have any questions, please do please do let us know. On next week's show, I have another phenomenal lady, and she's watching in, and that is Joanne Sweeney. And we're going to be talking all about the public sector and all about social media and digital marketing for the public sector and government bodies. So that is going to be a very interesting conversation. So join us next week for another fantastic in conversation with Alan. And I'm really, really delighted now. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be so good. So, guys, if you want to get in contact with me, you can jump onto the Compass Media website at compassmedia.ie, or if you want to go to my own personal website, it's alan-hennessy.ie. And if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, it is Alan Hennessy. Would love to connect with you and let us know, as I said, that you see in the show here. Until next week at the same time, have a great week. And Wendy, once again, thanks so much for joining us today. And we shall talk to you soon. As I always say, guys, be social and talk to you soon. Bye.